judges score the contest 48-46, 48-46, and 47-47 for the winner by majority decision, and
And still the undisputed African fighting podcast champion of the world. Welcome back to Fighting with Friends. It is One Friday Fights 147, and it will be live on Friday afternoon, 2:30 p.m. South African time. And as you can see, we are super hyped. PG, what's going on, brother?
What's up, brother? No, you said it right over there. It's a big fight card. Probably one of the biggest fight cards for one championship this year so far. Considering the matchups, who's on the card, dude, I think we're getting spoiled here. The only thing that makes me surprised is that it's not a fight night event, but rather we're getting this a Friday fights card. No complaints here. It's a good time for us. I'm happy about it. But geez, what a banger! What a banger!
Absolute banger, bro. And just before we get into breaking it down, just some important information regarding the broadcasting of the fights. This is courtesy of the mighty Nick Atkin on X. So if you aren't following him, be sure to give him a follow. Just very quickly, One Championship is rolling out its paid Inner Circle Super Fan Club worldwide from this Friday. From One Friday Fights 147 onwards, the first 5 fights of each weekly Lupini Stadium card will now sit behind the subscription service globally after the model was trialed in the first Thailand event. So yeah, basically the first 5 fights of each Friday Fights card going forward now are going to be behind the paywall, but broadcasting will continue as normal depending on your geolocation. So be sure to check that out. PG, I got that right?
Yep, that's right.
Fantastic. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, if you have clicked the video, you know who is with us today. We do have a special guest with us. I think he's still there. I'm going to bring him out. I'm not sure if we've lost him. But let's see. There he is. Ayo.
Let's go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fighting with Friends, making his debut here. If you know, you know. The streets will never forget. Rory is big on X, dropping that Muay Thai content. So if you're not following him on X, please be sure to follow him. We'll drop his socials in the link in the description box. Excuse me. But yeah, it is One Friday Fights 147, boys. I'm gonna let you get down to the technical stuff. So PG, your mic's hot, bro. Let's go.
Let's go. So
Thanks for the introduction.
You good, brother?
Yeah. By the way, I'm doing good. Obviously, a little bit late because of trains being just in England, how they work. But yeah, apart from that, good day. Yeah, feeling good. Feeling like I've hopefully got some good predictions. Yeah. By the way, if you want to check out my socials, it's mainly Muay Thai clips and kickboxing clips. I want to branch out at some point, but you're just seeing striking clicks on your timeline. So drop me a follow if that interests you. If not, it's cool, man.
Let's go. That's what's up.
You gonna jump into
So,
it?
Rory, we have a big card, bro. This is a massive card we have over here. A lot of guys
Banging,
are so hyped with it. I'm sure you are. But let's talk about this main event. Let's start from the top of the card. Let's talk about this main event because I want to get your
Yeah.
opinion on this one. So let's go through some stats first before we get your wonderful breakdown on these fights. So main event, as you can see, flyweight Muay Thai title, Nong-O taking on Asadula Imangazaliev. Gonna say this now. It seems to be like a foregone conclusion amongst the fan base. I think a lot of guys are saying this is like a straight up gonna be an easy fight for Asadula. He's undefeated in one championship. I think he's got 7 wins. I think 6 of them, six wins by KO. He's on a massive run, taking out Kongtorani. We know Nong-O as well has been looking good since coming down to flyweight, taking on Kongtorani as well, twice beating him in the second fight. Can you give us your thoughts about this matchup? Do you agree that it's going to be a foregone conclusion, or is there something in this fight for Nong-O?
There is something sorry, wait, what? Literally.
All good, all good. It is Gregor.
sorry. I had some shit. I did something dumb.
No worries.
But yeah, just so I was studying some Nong-O tape, and sadly, I do think Amang should win this fight. because he's actually fought two similar but much worse Russians in Ramazov, and there was a guy who popped for PEDs. His name eludes me, and in both of those fights, he showed a lot of weaknesses to this rangy Russian style.
Yeah. So it's
if
sorry, you were saying?
No, I don't want to cut you off. You go.
No, it's all good. It's all good. No, I was gonna say I agree with you. I think I'm thinking about that name now. I think you're talking about Kyaw Nibati. That was at bantamweight, and I think Nong-O is heavily undersized against those guys. And apart from their styles, but I think like you mentioned, the range, the height, these guys off, and also they're very dynamic with their striking. I think it's just something that puts a lot of the Thai guys at a disadvantage. You know, if you think about that different, because it's not traditional Muay Thai that they come in with, right? It's slightly different. Even if you still there?
Yeah, I'd agree.
Okay, you agree.
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay, sorry, there's just a little bit of a delay, but we will get through it. There's not much you can really break it down on, right? If you think that it's going to be sad, like you mentioned, sadly, it's like you kind of agree that it's going to be Imangazaliev. You don't think that maybe Nong-O could maybe attack the body a little bit more in this fight? Maybe not target the head so much. Maybe look for some inside or outside levels to survive that pressure.
My thought on Nong-O's game plan is I think he's going to come in there with the idea of throwing leg kick, like calf kicks, with to kind of cut off his movement, and his lead leg body kick. And I'd actually say the fight is won and lost for Nong-O on his lead leg body kick. In his fights, when he was having the most success, it's cutting off the Russians when they moved to his weak side with his leg kick. He was like really damaging the body. And if he can stop him from moving to his weak side with that leg kick, that's when it gets interesting. Like the reason Ramazov fight was off kick, and it really just killed his movement in round 3. Whereas in round 1 and 2, Ramazov was just teeing him up with a jab and the straight.
Yeah. I'm inclined to agree with you, to be honest, because when I was thinking about this fight and I was putting my notes together as well, I was thinking Nong-O is probably going to get backed up in this fight early. So he's going to be on the back foot. But then what does he do then? Does he attack the body in those situations? Does he attack the legs in those situations? So I find like that's probably going to be the keys to victory for him. He's attacking those particular targets. Other than that, honestly, I just can't see a victory any other possible way for Nong-O. I think Asadula is just way too dynamic. Way too dynamic. Sorry, what you saying?
I think
okay.
I'm just if I'm at Asadula's corner, I really think he should not like go too crazy, because I could see him losing if he's just like, I'm gonna throw spinning elbows and like axe kicks from the start. I think he should simple his game a little bit, use his jab, his one. He should use his 1-2. Use his calf kick, use his stab kick, which he he used to finish Kung Fu knee. I think he should use that. And a little combo I think he should try and work on is I saw in the Ramazan fight that Nong-O would back up a little bit. Like you throw the 1-2 and then end on a calf kick. I think you should try and throw that as well.
Yeah, 100%. We got a comment coming in here from James Kendrick saying, "Hello, Rory. I'm from the Phantom Punch Discord group that appreciates clips and analysis." So good shout out there. Thanks, James, for that comment, brother. Much appreciated.
He's always in my comments, man. Shout out to him.
Okay. Love that. Love for the love, guys. Much appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, if you guys have anything else in the comments about this one, I think Rory's onto something here. It's looking more like a Asadula win for me. But there is one thing I will say: we haven't really seen Asadula in a 5-round fight. What does it look like if he gets to the later rounds? Does he have the same pace? Does he have the same venom? What happens if he's a little bit at adversity? Does he get tired? Does he punch himself out? Because there was one fight where he went to 3 rounds. I don't remember which fight that was now. But that fight, he looked a little bit human. He couldn't put his opponent away. I think it was Tawfiq, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Muhammad Tawfiq. Beat him up for 3 rounds, but he looked a little bit human there. So is there something to take away from that? Could Asadula slow it down in the later rounds? What do you think? If it gets there.
Yeah, I'd agree. Like that's why I feel like Asadula really needs to use his body work. He had that. I remember he finished confronting me with like kind of Mike
Yes.
McCallum style, his kind of inside lead left hook, which just ripped him. He needs to damage the body and the calf. Even though I think he will get the finish if it goes on long. The idea would be that Nong-O would just be too compromised to finish him, or really,
Yes.
bounce on it on
Yes.
the chance.
Yeah, you're right. He might be too beaten up at that point. But my one thing I think about is height discrepancies.
Yeah.
Would Nong-O's body be open enough for punches, or would it be more open enough for those stabbing deep kicks from Asadullah? And vice versa. Would Asadullah's body be more open as a target of choice rather than maybe going to the head with Nong-O's overhand right, that body kick he sets up? What do you think on that take?
To where he should be in both of those fights. And I just doubt he's gonna, go into this fight trying to box or like kind of work the body with like a straight to the body or something. So I just didn't really think of it as like likely that we'll see that from Nong-O.
Let's see. Let us know what you guys think in the chat. Okay, we got DSPV27 says Asadullah got a doctor, got a good doctor. Don't think 5 rounds will be a problem for him. Let's go.
Real bad man.
Much love, the one and only with DSPV. Okay, no, I think it's safe to say that it's probably gonna be a likely Asadullah win. Look, I would be over the moon if we get an upset. I'm not gonna lie. It would really make for a good storyline if Nong-O does turn
Same.
back the clock and back a title. I'll be like, oh my god, you know what I mean? But it's hard to deny the evidence in the fighters' growth and performances and where they are in their careers right now. So I think we can all agree that Asadullah Imangazaliev is going to be new come this Friday. Yeah, boys.
Yeah.
I think we can move to the main event. Is there anything else you want to say on
Yeah,
this
that sounds
one?
good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I was watching Pompet versus Decho, and obviously Pompet and counterpunch. And I saw a little adaptation in round 2 that Decho made. He started stepping in, like uses step in knees and then get clinch position. I don't think Jaosuayai will get clinch position, but I really think one of his main ways to kind of nullify the pressure, or at least like make him Pompet a little bit worried and move back more, mix up that flying knee and those like kind of knees to the body that he has. I really think that's a pretty key part of the Jaosuayai game plan. Yeah, he also has my worry for Jaosuayai is you watch like a Dennis Peerage fight, he's just letting rip hooks like a windmill, and he's gonna get countered if he does that. And I think it was the Yoglek Peck fight, he kind of fought with more of a high guard, didn't overextend until he had him against the ropes, and was using this kind of like probing distance measuring jab. I think he should try and employ some of the same tactics, use more of his kicks, mix up his weapons, and just try and not like fall into throwing these big hooks, these big hooks, giving counter options for Pompet.
100%. I think it's a tricky fight for him, to be honest with you. I like Jaosuayai a lot. The only thing that makes me question him a little bit is he's going up and down in weight here. He went down to strawweight, fought Sam A, came up, now he's coming back up to flyweight. What is his body going to look like? Is he going to stick to the flyweight division now? You know what I mean? That's where I feel like when fighters do that, it reads as if they're trying to find their place on their road. You know what I mean? Where they're going to settle in with. Because he's now reaching 25 years old, so he should be now owning down these divisions, right? I'm hoping he sticks around here. But I think Pompet poses big threats. He's a very good in-fight boxer. He's got a sharp left hook to the body, nice overhand right to follow. He keeps his guard up relatively high. He likes the infighting. I mean, he's a very forward pressure kind of fighter, so he does pose a lot of threats to Jaosuayai. This is one of the fights in this fight card. Actually, many of these fights in this fight card is hard for me to actually choose a winner. I'm not gonna lie. This one in particular, I find that Pompet's got the momentum. I don't know if that's going to be a big factor in this fight. What do you think?
Yeah. To be honest, like I was thinking about Pompet. I really was thinking about picking him, but I just kind of thought that one, I really love Jaosuayai, so I'm a bit biased. But I just really think if he uses his knees well,
Yeah.
if he's gonna use his knees well, and I think if he uses his and he kind of is very smart, like shows off a smart, calculated form of him. Because he has really nice lateral movement, and he exits to not on the straight line. He's hard to get against the fence. I think he should be able to outpoint him, outpoint Pompet.
Yeah, I do think that Jaosuayai he has better footwork. His creativity is nice and smart in there. He seems to be the speedy between the two guys, like slightly faster as well, and to be quite frank, a little bit more dynamic. But I think Pompet, man, it's not a cut and dry fight. So let's see what happens this weekend. But I think that's going to be a banger, decent co-main event. I see we got a comment from James Kendrick again. How are Pompet's clinch entries? What do you think of that question, Rory?
Well, in my mind, like I'm thinking of the Decho fight, and he's not really. He wants to he doesn't really want to clinch. Not that he can't clinch, but like I think he's wanting just to keep you in the pocket for boxing.
Yes.
So as I said, like I feel like maybe Jaosuayai at points should even try and clinch just to get a break, not really to strike him. He's not really his specialty, but yeah, I think Pompet's clinch is more of his weakness than his strength.
Yes. I agree. I've watched a lot of Pompet's fights as well. Clinching is not necessarily where he wants to play. And that's actually what I did in my preview when he fought Decho. I was like, he actually wants to be in tight in the pocket. Because that's where he does his best work. Watch Pompet fight. That's where he does his best work, is in tight. But he's going to have to catch Jaosuayai first before he can get there. And tricky fight, which is why I get what you're saying, that Jaosuayai will be able to outpoint him in this fight. Possibly even catch him. Jaosuayai's got a good punch on him, and he's got a mean kick as well. Does have some power behind his shot, so he could even get Pompet in there, get him out of there. Wonderful fight, and I really hope that Pompet understands what's at stake here, because Jaosuayai, I'm not mistaken, he's contracted. I'm not too sure on that, but he's been fighting big cards. No way, he's not contracted. But this fight has a lot of implications.
Wow, that's funny. I thought he had a contract.
He did get it.
Yeah. I feel really bad for him, man. I feel like he got.
I think he did.
Yeah, I thought he got it. Yeah.
Yes, he did. Which is why I think
he's unlucky as well.
Yeah.
Because if I remember his last fight, it was like he got knocked down, and then he knocked the other guy down. It didn't get given, and he won the other 2 rounds. So, but then Samay, like the fight before Samay. And then Samay whooped him. So it was a fight before it. I think it was Dyakoyev or one of the Russians. I can't remember his name on the top of my head. Yeah. But yeah, I think he's really, really good. And yeah, I'm giving it to him on points.
Okay, let's go. Jaosuayai on points. Let's see if he gets the job done that way. You heard it by Rory. Sounds very convinced. Makes a good point about how he's able to outpoint him, and he does seem to be the more dynamic fighter than Pompet in these two guys. So if you guys want to go for Jaosuayai, let's go for Jaosuayai. Right, 80. Let's keep it moving to the next bout in this fight. We have bantamweight Muay Thai. No longer Kulabdam. His name is now changed to Ratchasisan, but I'm still going to say Kulabdam because it rolls the tongue a lot nicer. So we have Kulabdam taking on Uzair, Ismoiljonov, and this is quite an interesting fight, because I do believe that Uzair poses some good threats going forward. He's quite dynamic. He just starches really well. His boxing is quite intense. Got power. I think he might be slightly bigger than Kulabdam, I'm not mistaken. But there is a big but. If you look at Uzair's fights in one championship, he does get dropped a lot. And Kulabdam has got a mean left hook, mean left straight. A lot of his left-sided attacks are quite dangerous. We know this. He's called the left meteorite for no reason. Question is, who gets the job done here? Because what I've gathered online is that people seem to think Uzair will probably get Kulabdam out of there. I don't know if I can agree. What do you think, Rudy?
It's funny. I'm on the same train, man. I really think. Yes, I don't even think it'll be close. From what I watched, like this is because he can't just get dropped and then lose the fight, kind of how he did against PTT, where he's kind of outstriking the dude, gets dropped once. But I just saw a lot of holes in his game that I feel like Kulabdam will exploit. Like he's got a really wide stance, which I was thinking, like Kulabdam should just tear apart that leg the entire fight. I'm gonna keep calling him Kulabdam because I can't pronounce his first name. That's
No
not me
worries.
trying to nothing. So he but he's got a big weakness to his kind of like his stance, which he's weak to leg kicks from what I saw.
Yeah.
I thought he kind of drops his lead hand. You time the entry, which he entries on a straight line with an elbow over the top. I thought Kulabdam should be money with that. I thought like he does these like Justin Gaethje hooks is what I call them, because there's a clip of like Justin Gaethje versus it was like his Charles Oliveira fight where he throws a big hook and he falls over and his corner's like, put 80% on your shots, don't put 100%, put 80% on your shots. And he's kind of doing that where every shot you can see his body kind of go over and he loses balance every time he misses. So I kind of think if he's working the body kick and he's working the leg kick and he's timing elbows and kind of using the clinch against the foreign fighter, which he does have an all right clinch, I really think he can outstrike him.
Yeah. No, I'm inclined to agree, bro. Honestly, again, looking at Uzair's fights, I like his aggression. I like the intensity he tries to put on opponents, but I do find that his defense gets sort of taken away when he's going forward. Kind of lets it go. And Kulabdam, you mentioned he can attack that legs. He does attack the body really well. And Kulabdam on the back foot, he's not that bad, guys. And I know he can get tagged. I've seen Kulabdam get tagged on the back foot, but he does have that short step off to his left, and then he cracks that left hook down the pipe. And I mean, let's be real, Kulabdam's power, it always seems to be like an equalizer in a lot of his fights, right? Except for that PTT one. I honestly, I'm gonna go with Kulabdam here. I think he's just better.
Yeah.
I just think he's the better fighter. We got a comment coming in before we continue. We got a comment coming in here from DSPV. He says Kulabdam got a new sponsor and camp. From my understanding, the first time in his life to make serious money, lots of motivation. All right, so there you guys have it. Seems to say that Kulabdam is on a mission here, guys. And I mean, let's be real. I honestly thought he did a very good job against PTT besides getting dropped like that. And he's still one of those guys that's in the division that he's extremely dangerous, and he's just 1 or 2 wins away from being back in that conversation of he's climbing up the ranks again. He could be ranked in the top 5 once we do get those rankings. And yeah, I'm going Kulabdam here. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah. Same. I think people forget how much of he is a legend as well. Like fighter of the year, like truly just a great fighter overall.
Yeah, and also Uzair is a little bit still, in my opinion, even though he's 26 years old. Sometimes I feel like he's still a bit green. I don't know if you agree, but the way these fights, things I've seen in it, like, it looks like you're still learning a couple of things, and you need to figure out your defenses of when you're going forward as well. And yeah, Kulabdam is not someone you should play with. You're going to learn new things. He's the kind of guy that will punish you for any mistake that you're going to.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Let's go to this next one. I think this next fight, Rory, is probably going to be the people's main event. I don't know if you agree here, but we have Suriyanlek up against Gregor. Thom. I can't wait for this one. Oh, my soul. Before we go, we got another comment coming from DSPV. I want to quickly touch base on this one before we continue. He says, my only worry is that Uzair is a weight bully in this fight. I think I'll wait for the weigh-ins before any action on it. But overall, Kulabdam feels like safe here. Do you agree, Rory? Easier weight bully? Uzair?
He's definitely a lot bigger. Like it's hard to say weight bully because foreigners cut weight. A lot of Thais don't cut the same type of weight. But yeah, he definitely has a huge size advantage. But as I said, because I'm so big on the calf kick, I think Kulabdam's gonna be money with it. I don't think that will help him too much in the long run. But of course, he could drop him and then win by like a 1 championship kind of dodgy one. I was telling you, man. I wish they did the like 4th round that K1 does.
Yeah. They look, one championship we're talking about the introducing 5 rounds Muay Thai to the main events for this year. Still, we haven't got anything like that yet, and we still don't have the right rankings, so we're gonna have to just wait until we get these kind of results. But let's bring it back to this fight between Suriyanlek and Gregor. Thom, I think this is a banger. I mean, we know what Suriyanlek is all about, guys. The name speaks for itself. We've seen his performances. This guy is insane. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's not contracted, bro. And he's fighting all his contracted fighters. It makes no sense to me. So we know what he's all about. Powerful dude, heavy-handed, heavy in within that tight guard. Just wants to clinch, get tight and hit the body and go to the head. It doesn't throw a lot of kicks, which I want to see him throw a lot more. Gregor Thom, similar but taller, higher guard. Also powerful puncher. I like Gregor always brings the fight. He's quite aggressive, which I think this is why I say this is gonna be people's main event. That being said, is this gonna be a fight that goes all the way? Is there gonna be a finish in this fight, and who gets that finish?
Well, to be honest, like I wouldn't be surprised if Suriyanlek kind of beats him in the distance. I was kind of watching. I wouldn't be surprised, man, because Suriyanlek, he's just a dog, man, and he doesn't always kind of put put people out. He doesn't have like he has good power, but he doesn't have insane power. But he has the biggest heart in all of one FC. So he just maraud forward, takes insane amount of damage. And I don't think Gregor Thom. I was watching him in his last fight versus Don King, and he gets backed up easily. I feel like at points, and he gets on the rope and do against Suriyanlek, and like he's not going to give you time to think. There's like moments where he's like thinking, "Oh, I should move laterally here," and he doesn't get that time. And a lot of time he's only moving laterally when he hits the ropes. So I just think Suriyanlek's going to be pushing him, slamming body shots against him, and kind of timing him, and maybe. But I don't think he's going to get the finish. I think he's going to win like 2-1, and maybe rock him with a counter or something, because I think he's quite counterable, Gregor Thom.
Yes, he is, and I agree with you. Gregor does get backed up. Even that fight against Pompet, he was able to get backed up easy. Does Gregor have a puncher's chance? Like, does he have a chance to catch Suriyanlek in this fight? Can he drop Suriyanlek in this matchup? Is that likely?
I mean, 100%. That's the thing. Like, Suriyanlek has been dropped a lot in his career, or not dropped a lot, but I think he got dropped pretty recently versus Gingsaklek. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets like timed on the entry with like a straight or something dropped. I don't think he's gonna get finished, because I've seen him push through just insane amount of pain. Like at the Gingsaklek fight, his like body was mush. I don't know how he kept going. He just kept taking body kicks to the liver. That's insane. So I'm gonna say he survives. But yeah, I could see Gregor Thom winning with like a knockdown or something.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I got this one being the people's main event, and to be quite honest with you, I actually got Suriyanlek winning every round and possibly getting Gregor out of it, because the thing about Gregor Thom is you mentioned something about him getting backed up against the ropes. I've seen it happen in all three of his fights. You don't want to be there with Suriyanlek up against the ropes. He puts the hurt on you. If he gets you there, you're kind of stuck in that phone booth with him. And Thom doesn't have the best lateral movement off the ropes. He kind of gets stuck in those positions. So I think there might be some money on that for Suriyanlek to possibly get that finish against the ropes there. But I think who wins here? The fans wins for this fight. This is the fight to go with. ESPV says Suriyanlek never loses a fight, just runs out of time.
23.
What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, as I said, I remember that Gingsaklek fight.
Yeah.
His ass beat. And then he just randomly, a minute left, just somehow pulls something out of himself and is just smashing him and pushing him. And Gingsaklek's like so tired, he just wants to be out of there. It was insane.
Yeah, that's the thing with Suriyanlek. So I think Gregor Thom knows that he's gonna be in a war here with this man. So I think, guys, let's see what happens. Give us your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you, DSP, for that comment. Like, give us your thoughts. Who do you think is gonna get the job done in that flyweight banger? Lots of fights to get through. Let's keep it moving. We have another big fight coming up. Sticking in the flyweight division. Samingdam taking on Swar win. Obviously, Swar win blew up one championship on his debut. People went absolutely insane. Cracked our live streams as well. I think he knocked out, who did he beat? Mugaseto, I think it was. Muga, very evil fighter. Let's be real. I like Muga, but people always seem to drop him in every fight we watch him in. Not to say he's a shitty fighter, but guys always seem to drop Mugaseto. That's not taking anything away from Swar win. He's obviously looks like he's got the stuff, but I think this is going to be a good test for him against Samingdam, because Samingdam is also not that bad of a fighter, guys. Esparza's got some good power, decent kicks, nice on the back foot. He poses some good threats here, but I think he is a little bit undersized in this particular matchup. What are your thoughts on this one, Rory?
Yeah. I kind of I agree because it's a hard fight to really know who's gonna win. But like Kwasin, like we have what about like 8 minutes, and the moment when Mugaseto wasn't rocked, it was like okay, you've only got boxing and you move on a straight line. And I was kind of looking back on it a little bit like suspectly because like before that moment, he's landing body kicks, he's landing head kicks, Mugaseto, he's jabbing him up, and he doesn't. And I'm not sure on his like cage cutting ability, but then he looks like the counter was so perfect. It just makes you wonder, like, well, if he gets you there, he obviously has hands.
Yeah.
But I'm just not confident enough to like not go with Samingdam because it feels like it's guesswork on Kwaswa Sin.
Facts.
Really.
Facts.
Whereas I feel like more confident in the skills I've seen from Samingdam to kind of post kick him on when he tries to entry, counter him when he's trying to enter as well. Like maybe should probably try and use the clinch as well if he gets too close or on the ropes. And he's good at like pivoting off the ropes.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be staying on the ropes like a lot of other fighters will in these situations. So I think he's just going to maybe win on points because these Myanmar left way guys have just chins on him, just chins of steel.
100%. Yo, what's up, Powatan? It's the Gowatan in the chat. Much love, bro. Good to see you here, brother. Let's go. Gotta let it play out a little bit. It's for the one and only Gowatan in the chat. But I agree with you, Rory. I think the fact that we got such little time with
Let's go, man.
Does make it a bit difficult to sort of justify what he can actually do in this fight against Samingdam. We've got a lot of tape on him, right? We've seen what his moves. We've seen how he fights in there. He can go to decision. He can finish you. He's got good body kicks. And I must say, one thing about Samingdam that I did enjoy is I really like it when a fighter is able to, when they're backing up, they actually pick a side to move. They don't just back up in a straight line. They can actually choose left or right. I'm gonna get out of this distance and re-establish the geography in the ring. And one thing about Samingdam, he does that really well. Unless you got him hurt. He's a little bit like a sitting duck, but most times he's actually quite mobile in that ring. Then I think that's what's leading me to go Samingdam a little bit. But I almost feel like Swar win is a little bit of a big dude in there. I don't know if you agree, but he seems like he's a little bit bigger than the flyweight guys. Yeah. Or am I seeing something here? But he does seem a little bit bigger than most of the flyweight dudes. And like you mentioned, this Myanmar guys are made out of granite. They just don't know how to get knocked out. So that's what makes me concerned for Samingdam in this fight. He's fighting someone that hard to put away, and I feel like he's a little bit bigger because if you look at the website, there's no statistics on what Kwaswa wins tail the tape is. We don't know his height. We don't know what his weight is.
Yeah.
It makes it a bit difficult. But when I look at the tape of him fighting, I'm like, a big flyweight. You know what I mean? I worry for Samingdam when it comes to that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd agree. I feel like power is the great neutralizer. So like I'm not confident on Samingdam because he's just so much of unknown. And the one time we've seen his power, it did look nice. Like when he slept him with that like kind of jumping jab or whatever it was, Mugaseto, it was like dynamite, man, in his hands.
Yeah, exactly. That's a frightening prospect for me. I'm not gonna lie. I think Samingdam's got tools to survive a fight like this, but I don't know, man. Something in my gut feeling is just telling me that me and my guy's gonna put it on him. I hope it doesn't go that way, but I just get the feeling it's gonna happen like that. Let's go to some chats quickly before we continue. Rotan, what are you saying here? Hit my bosses. Same game parlay today. We're back. DSPV. Samingdam has to initiate the ability to steal close fights every time. Oh, he has the innate ability to steal close fights every time, and it'll be a tall order for Kwaswan. You really put a hurt on Turtle and leave no room for the judges to go against the ties. It's a good point. It's a very good point. So let's see what happens, bro. I think Kwaswan win does pose a lot of threats for him, man. He's a big dude. He's aggressive. Look, you already did make a good point. The Mugaseto fight, he was getting tagged in that fight. Let's be real. Before the knockdowns, Mugaseto was looking like the more polished fighter and landing cleaner shots, there's no surprise to that. You can name me one Myanmar fighter in Thailand in one championship that doesn't get hit all the time. I'll wait. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? These guys get
Yeah.
tagged every single time. They don't really have the best
Yeah.
defense. They kind of rely on that ability to take shots, which I find is not the smartest thing to do. It's not always going to get you, especially in the high level fights. You can't tank everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These guys are going to catch you.
Yeah.
That's
I think it was a couple fights or like fight nights ago. There was this Myanmar dude who just got head kicked on a counter, like brutally, and it was just like he was asking to be hit. And that was like the problem. It was a dude who'd never been knocked out before.
You see, might have been Suanluang versus Warapun. Warapun hit him with a head kick in the first round, and he
Yeah.
was Man of Steel. Is what they call him, Suanluang. But anyway, he's that's his loss in my opinion. But okay, that's going to be a tricky fight. I think we all can. Sounds like all of us want Samingdam to win here, but I think we're all agreeing that it's not an easy fight for him. But let's see what happens this weekend. Just to remind everybody, like, share, and subscribe. We are going to be doing a live betting man segment for these fight cards. It's coming in place this weekend for one championship and for the UFC. We'll look out for that. All right, Rory, let's keep it moving. We were talking about Decho earlier on the fight card. I like that you referenced him quite a bit. I do think he's a good fighter. Flyweight division, he's taking on Elvin Kazumovi, I think it is Movi, Georgian. But I believe he's quite talented, bro. I watched some tape on him and I was like, hey, this guy can fight. He's got some decent footwork, a little bit flashy. His boxing looks quite sharp. He's got decent body kicks. His low kicks look fantastic. But I mean, Decho also fights hard. Let's be real. The guy's a high IQ fighter. He's not an easy one for anybody. I mean, he's looking good so far. But do you think that Alvin poses a good threat here, and maybe he could actually beat Decho in this fight? What do you think?
Well, I was watching some of his tape. I watched like 2 fights of his. One where he gets like an injury loss in Kunlun fights. And one where he gets like a really nice KO with that kind of lead leg. I forgot what they call it in Japanese, but it's like a lead leg roundhouse toe kick where you kind of step into it, which was nice. Yeah. My thoughts were he's got some nice footwork, he's got some nice pressure, and his boxing looked nice. It just feels like he's being fed to the slaughter in his first boxer being in Muay Thai versus one of the all of one championship. Like Decho is really slick with bringing people into clinches and setting up his clinches with strikes.
Yes.
Yeah, my fault. I just feel like it's weird to put a kickboxer in there. It's really weird, especially when he's not like. If you look at his topology, it's like 4 losses, and it's like he clearly isn't like a world-class kickboxer. No shade to him. I mean, he seems like pretty good from what I watched, but it just feels insane to put him against one of the best all-round Muay Thai fighters in Decho who can do a bit of everything.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree because Decho. He's also one of the flyweight guys that seems to have quite a bit of range on some of these fighters. He seems taller than most of them in there. He's not even that tall, 5'8", but he does appear to seem to have range over a lot of the flyweight fighters. And I like that you use the word all around because I'm inclined to agree. I mean, Decho's defense is good. His footwork is fantastic. The way he puts pressure on fighters, like you mentioned, to set up his strikes and get into clinching positions. And even in the clinch, he does a decent job there as well. Alvin, when I looked at the tape, you mentioned kickboxing. I wasn't sure if I saw that he was actually competing in Thai boxing as well. I don't know what the promotion was, but again, it's not. This is not going to be small gloves, right? It's not the bigger gloves.
Yeah.
And look, there is something I will say about Alvin is that he does have speedy boxing, man, and his pressure is quite good. But I just think Decho's levels above that. So I would go Decho for the win here. But I'm expecting a good fight. I'm expecting a good fight from Alvin. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to completely overlook the young man. You know?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just an unknown. You don't really know what you're getting.
Yeah. You're right. He is unknown. In this. I mean, he's a debut fighter. And we're going at based off tape, right? We look at the guy's tendencies on tape and we're basing it on that. But on the day, I really look down at it and look at this properly. I just go, you know what? Decho just I mean, he went toe to toe with Suriyanlek twice. You know what I mean? He beat Pompet.
Yeah.
He beat Senua, and those are all dog kind of fights. And
Yeah.
he got in all of them, and not even questionable. Like he actually beat them all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
pretty clearly. Yeah. I
it's pretty
really, I just struggle to not be confident in this fight. It's like, it's hard to imagine this dude who's like not at the top level of kickboxing come into like Muay Thai and fight as someone who's really good at, because like Decho's really good at getting the double collar tie with his strikes and kind of like step in knee, getting it. I saw this clip where he's like, I posted actually a clip where he frames, he's using his frame and he turns it into like an overhand and then hits an up like an up elbow or a spear elbow and then gets a double collar tie and then sweeps Pompet. And it's shit like that. I just don't think Elvin's going to be prepared for, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It's just a full day. I remember DSPV was saying this once, which I'm not sure which fight it was, but it was a Thai guy versus another dude from Europe, and everyone was high on this European fighter, and they said, "Hold on, you're gonna watch some real Muay Thai. It's cool, this European guy coming here thinking that he's gonna be doing Muay Thai." And I think that's what we're gonna get here. He's because we're gonna show him weapons that's not traditionally found in the bigger gloves. It's a very good point you made there about Decho's clinch game. I like that. So I got him for the win. I'm sure you got him for the win. You're very confident in it. Which is why we can keep it moving to this next bout, which I think is a banger because this is one of my favorites to watch. I love this division. I really like this strawweight division in Muay Thai specifically. Numsurin, obviously, good name. He was pretty much undefeated in one championship before he fought against Naraka Yoshinari for the title.
He was. With an
He
asterisk.
was, yeah. I think it was 6. Yeah, he went on a 6-win streak. And then he had and then he fought Naraka. Looked really good. I mean, Naraka obviously has Naraka Yoshinari. I don't want to say too much about that. We got a comment here from Numsurin. Yo, you guys probably already went over Imangazaliev, but he wins by murder. Pluto KO incoming. Obviously, with that.
Yeah.
We did go over that fight, and Rory made a very good point about it as well. And we kind of agree, and especially when the 5-round fight gives Imangazaliev a lot more time to find those targets and get that fight away. So yeah, that's pretty much what we agreed on. This fight, Numsurin, like I was mentioning, probably one of the best guys in the division, alongside with Nadaka, Song Chanwei. We know the list is quite good. Pet's been actually doing really well since being in one.
Yeah.
I know he's only 19 years old, but I mean, four wins, 2 losses. 3 of those wins came by a KO. Decent power in his right hand. Quite aggressive. You mentioned heart when it came to Suriyanlek. I think Pet's also got some good heart, which is why I'm very excited for this fight. He's very skillful, bro. He's very skillful. Is there anything you think that Pet could do to get the job done here, or is Numsurin going to be too experienced?
Yeah, I was watching his fight with, I forget the name, but this younger Japanese fighter as well. It was his last fight, which he lost. And he really has an amazing clinch game. Like, definitely the best in the division. But I feel like he's probably gonna lose if Numsurin fights his fight, because I feel like using kind of these, because he walks just straight forward, and I feel like that's the problem. It got him dropped there, and it got him like hurt and tagged a lot just because he walks in a straight line forward, trying to get into clinch. And he doesn't really use strikes, as we're talking about Decho. He's using his strikes to get in his clinches, like stepping knees. He's not really doing it the same. He's having strikes to mix it up, or kind of using head movement to get in the clinch. Yeah, and I just feel like I feel like Numsurin should be able to use his check hook, which is really nice, to kind of hit him. Like timing on the entries. I feel like he's very susceptible. And I feel like Numsurin is good enough in the clinch to kind of not be destroyed in the clinch. Yeah. And he has like a solid all-round skill set. With kicks. And he should get the win. But if he fights how he usually does, because I mean a lot of his fights he's just throwing big hooks, big entries, he could easily lose just by being brought into the clinch over and over again.
Yeah. Especially because Pet does have that wild nature about him when he goes forward. I know you said he goes in a straight line. Does attack with a lot of venom in his shots. It does kind of make the fight chaotic. You mentioned he lost to Okuwaki, is the Japanese guy you were referring to. I remember that fight. It was pretty fun fight. But I can't help but feel that Numsurin is a little bit too well-rounded for me. This fight's gonna show him that there's years for him still to grow. If you know what I mean. Like I think Numsurin, like you mentioned, that check left to counter is fantastic. And again, just more well-rounded fighter. I think he establishes distance better, moves a little bit smoother than Pitt. And for me, Pitt doesn't attack the lower half enough for him to set up some of those big power shots to the head. You know what I mean? He's not attacking the calves. He's not attacking the body. He's just walking in there and making this a firefight, and because he believes in that power and he fights with his heart. But Numsurin is too, for me, he's just too experienced for that, man. He's just too experienced for that kind of stuff. So I think he's going to school the young man here, but I think it's going to be a fun fight to watch regardless.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good fight. Like Numsurin, I used to be really against him after I saw that Sung Chennai fight, but I've kind of warmed up to him after that because he was kind of running at the end, and that really annoyed me. So I remember I was really upset. I was calling him like bum serum online when I was back there. I was really fuming. But now I've kind of warmed up to him. I always think it's kind of crazy. Because if you look back in his first fight, he KO'd Kunsuk Noi, who's like one of the best fighters in RWS. And I was like, when I found that out, I was like, I'm sorry, what? Read it, double check it, and it was all true, which shocked me. He just starched him round 1.
100%. He's good, bro. He's good.
Yeah.
He beat Sunday as well.
He's good.
He beat Payim. That Song Noi fight, I also didn't like that he was running away like that. But you know these guys do when they get that knocked down, they kind of just like, just stay safe now. I got this guy. I got him down. I got my knock. Got my 10-8. But that's my point. That's what he can do to Pitt, is that he can navigate the fight a little bit better, man. He knows what avenues he can take the fight into if he needs to. Whereas Pitt just shows me that he's young. He's young, he's got power, and he needs to level that up still.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. Okay, cool. Let's keep it moving. We're gonna skip this next one. I'll talk about that fight when we do our betting man segment tomorrow. It's the 2 debut fighters between Nadak, what's his name, Kachikyan versus Ryoga Teriyama. That's gonna be a fun fight for me personally because Ryoga Teriyama comes from Rise. I think he's a Rise champion, if I'm not mistaken. He's from the Teppen gym. The dude looks fucking good with the left from the southpaw stance. I was quite impressed from the tape that I watched on him. And Narek is not too bad either. I think he's a champion from France, if I'm not mistaken. IFMA champion. But I'll break that down tomorrow for you guys. For now, Rory, we'll keep it moving to this fight between Yonis, Anane, and Zhao Zhengdong. Strawweight Muay Thai, so not kickboxing for either guy. Both guys, I think, fought in kickboxing in their last fight. No. Yonis fought Muay Thai in his last fight. But anyway, he's undefeated in one so far. He's undefeated in one so far. Underwhelming performances. If I'm being honest, I mean, I'm giving him. He's only 18 years old. He's young. I'm sure we're putting too much pressure on him because of his brother, but I think Yonis doesn't even fight the same. He's a little bit different to Nabil actually. But he's taken on someone I think he's got good boxing in the pocket. Back foot, his boxing is pretty good as well. Zhao comes to fight, dude. I think he impressed me in his last few fights. Even though we've seen the one championship, but I like what I saw. What do you think about this fight? Is Yonis Anane gonna extend the win streak here, or is Zhao gonna school the young man, as we've been saying?
Yeah. So, like, Zhao Zedong was a shock to me because I was so excited for Monguchi to come into one. I was like, dude, because if you watch his fights, he's just straight wars, one of the funnest fighters in the world. And I was like, finally, and they put him against a no-name and we're going to get a contract. And he just comes in there and just beats his ass for 3 rounds. It's really rough. I was really disappointed. But on rewatch, it was just really, really good. Like,
it's a good fight.
Just rewatch. I was impressed. I was impressed from him. He was really like he needs the head, which probably isn't going to be there for this fight. But he's either looking to kind of like do like at range kind of jab, one shot, kick, jab, kind of straight, or he's looking to combination box, especially if he gets you to the rope.
Yeah.
And and I was really impressed by that. Like, I thought he was very good. But then I went and I was like, okay, let's see what he's done. And I watched the Rui Okakubo fight in K1 where he like filled in for a tournament versus, if you know who Rui is, very, very good. He just beat up Akihiro Kaneko in K1. He like really did him bad. Yeah, and he was like struggling with the range a bit because they were both same size. Rui Kukubo has really crisp boxing, so he's getting hit legit. And he was getting like timed with liver shots as well. So he'd like kind of come in and then you level change the liver shot. Rui Kukubo was landing that money, which kind of makes me a bit worried for this Yonis Anane fight because like you're not doing as same with against a guy who you don't have a huge height advantage on. But it's like a pinch of salt because I'm talking about someone with some of the best hands and quick hands versus Yonis Anane, who doesn't really have hands the same. I really think in this fight, I'm gonna go with Zhao Zhengdong to win decision, but there's just like one factor that's on my mind, and it's a clinch. And I'm not really sure on his clinch. I know he's competed Muay Thai a couple of times, but Yonis has pretty good clinch. That's like in his first fight, people were crying robbery. I didn't really see it because I thought he won on the clinch. And as I said, he was just getting completely out. He was getting outstruck, but he just get you in the clinch and land some knees with his frame. So it's just like it's a complication to it, you know.
No, I'm happy you brought that up because I was going to ask you about that actually. Because I'm in that camp that I feel like Zhao Zhengdong is going to have him on the feet. He's a very good striker. He's a fantastic striker. I think he's going to have the better hands between the two fighters here. But then I remember the fight between Yonis' last fight against Ryamu Matsumoto, who was much bigger than Yonis. Had sharper boxing, but Yonis was dominating every round in the clinch all the time. And I was like, you know what? After that fight, I thought to myself, damn it, this Yonis kid can fight in the clinch, dude. That might be his best weapons. And he might even win that fight here. Because I don't know what Zhao looks like in the clinch. Can he survive those clinchy positions? Is he going to be able to get out of there? That's for me is the big factor in this fight where it could be tricky. I think there might be value on Yonis if he's the underdog here, to be honest with you. But you see what the chat's saying. Anonymous says, oh shit, his brother's fighting Anane parlay. What are you saying here, AD? You put Yonis on the parlay. I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, this fight, because there's the clinch factor, you want to go maybe Yonis could take this fight into his world. But because Zhao's got such beautiful boxing, his hands is fantastic, and it's smaller gloves, he could get the young kid out of there.
Yeah. My thought was just, as much as I feel like Yonis will be getting the better in the clinch, I just think Zhao is such a better striker that it won't matter. I think he's just going to pretty cleanly outpoint him when Yonis is trying to get into range of the clinch. Because I think in his first fight, the dude he was fighting didn't really have clean striking. So, like, he was just outstriking him pretty clearly, but he wasn't landing anything clean with it. Whereas I feel like Zhao will punish you with clean, powerful shots.
Yeah. I mean, you could see it, especially when he's on the back foot, the way he slips. Goes down the pipe, the way he fought against Kesuke. Whoo! I was like, dude, this guy's defense, the offense when he's on the back foot is brilliant. Yeah, it's very slick. I was quite impressed. So he's I think he's a good addition to one championship. Consider maybe putting him in contractual fights. Because I mean he's very good. He's very good. But okay, boys, I think we can keep it moving. We have the big one. How mad is it that we have both brothers? We have the Anane brothers fighting after each other. Like normally there's a gap in between, but they're right after each other. That's insane. But it's the big one. Yeah. It's the big one. It's Nabil Anane taking on Rambolek with the bantamweight Muay Thai title. This fight is keeping me up all night this week. I've been having sleepless nights thinking about the two title fights here. But this is the big one. Nabil, obviously we know, 21. This guy's just looking fantastic. Only one loss in one championship. 8 wins, 2 by KO, 1 by TKO. He's looking fantastic. He even beat K1. Is it K1 champion in Wajima? Or Wajima was he a rising champion?
He was K1. He was K1. Yeah.
that was an impressive fight. Even though I felt that Wajima was coming back quite strong in the rounds 2 and 3, but
Yeah, I think we were
is
talking about it, weren't we?
yes,
We,
we
we
were.
kind of were like, I wasn't too impressed with Anand. We were kind of. Do you remember we were on like
Yes,
one of the lives? I was in the comments
yes,
saying I wasn't really impressed with that performance. I thought
yes.
he
I think
lost in a close one.
I think it was last week actually. But I remember very
Yeah,
vividly after that fight. I felt that Anand arguably lost those last 2 rounds. I wasn't completely sold on the victory when the fight.
yeah,
Watching it back, I didn't watch it back since. But I remember that time I was thinking to myself, "Hey, hang on, did he get? Did we just see him get found out?" But I also told myself, "It's not his weight class. It's also not his discipline." But that's not to make any excuses. Anyway, it doesn't take anything away from
yeah,
Nabil. I digress. He's taken on the rightful number one contender, Rambolek, right? Shorter fighter, but relatively still good for the division. Powerful boxing, right? With a main body shot on him. But as is he going to be able to figure out this range of Nabil? Because not only is he significantly taller than fighters, but Nabil does put a lot of volume on his opponents. Hell of a lot of volume. He overwhelms you with a lot of weapons to think about. What do you think, Rory? Is there a fighting chance for Rambolek in this one, or is it a foregone conclusion?
Um, well, it's hard to say it's a foregone conclusion when you're looking at someone with monster body hooks versus someone who's really big. That's why it's keeping you up at night. It's keeping me up at night because you just don't know when the great equalizer's there. The big ass hooks, big meaty hooks, ripping the body and ripping the head. It's scary, man. So yeah, I really think though, because as I said, the Wajima fight, I think Wajima is very, very good. He's just kept the range beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not gonna do that. Wajima he found the range in round 1, lost that round, and in round 2 and 3, he just ripped it. And a lot of like Nabil Anand striking out of Muay Thai, I feel like the useless shit kind of got exposed, where he's hitting like the 2-touch kicks, where you kind of tap the leg into the head kick. And like these like big spinning leaping moves, but in his skill set really it succeeds way more because, as I said, the reason why I'm still gonna pick Anand to win is because I feel like when Rambolek comes in, he's trying to rip to the body. Anand's gonna like either step in knee in the entries or maybe grab the collar tie and then put him in a really bad spot. I feel. He's just so big and good at getting the collar tie and smashing these to the body and the head.
Yeah. It's a big weapon of Nabil's arsenal. I agree with you there. You almost see it in every fight of his, except for the kickboxing bout where he can't really clinch you. But I mean, he's got his mean fighters in every position, especially because he can get to your head so easily with that height and that range and that leverage. But I just can't help, but you just can't ignore those body shots from Rambolek, man. And it's not only we saw it in the archives fight, in almost all of his fights, dude. Rambolek is so much power behind his shots. And fighters don't seem to be able to deal well with it when they hit you in the body. They kind of go down quite easily. And you could get a fight where Rambolek gets backed up, and that might lead to his getting some big shots in there. You know what I mean? He could be happily taking up the back and say, you know what, I'm not going to chase you down. You're too tall. I can't get into it. I get tagged. Let you come to me, and let me get that body on the entries. You know what I mean? That could happen. And Nabil's body is there to be hit. To be honest, his body is there to be hit. More so than getting to eat him in the chin, right?
Yeah, it's a big target, and Rambolek has a really nice calf kick as well, which you can use, which is also, as I said in the Wajima fight, was the inside thigh kick, but it is a weakness, man.
It is
weakness.
I mean,
Well, not a weakness, but it's something you should target versus the leg, and you never know when it gets late on. When you've ate a couple calf kicks, ate a couple body kicks, you're a lot more vulnerable in those 4th and 5th.
Yeah, 100%. And I would say like the game plan is always going to be easier said than done, right? And I mean, all of us can see it. For Nabil, it's got to attack the legs. You got to hit the inside. You got to hit the outside leg. He switches stances, but you got to keep attacking the legs. Ojima exposed it. He had Nabil's legs chewed up over the course of that 3 rounds. It was there all day. I don't know if Rambolek switches to southpaw much. Can't recall him doing that. But even so, I think he must use those calf kicks. Like I said, he doesn't have to rush for any of the finishes, right? I think patiently Nabil will be able to come and attack him, and then he'll find those shots in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because I feel like a lot of fighters. I'm trying to think if he has a because even if you don't switch stances, you can get like a little step up calf kick, which
Mhm.
Alex Perez pretty good at, where you kind of step and then calf kick.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think he should maybe have that, but I can't think off the top of my head.
Let's see, bro. It's a tricky fight. One thing about Nabil,
Is yeah,
one of his best traits, not only of his size and his frame, is he does overload his opponents with volume, right? He does make you think about a lot of things that's coming at you on defense. He doesn't just pop out a jab or throws a calf kick at a low fighting rate. He's coming at you with a lot of things. And from my memory, that Rambolek hasn't done well against that. Who was the other guy that did that to him? Uh, it's the American guy, Satem Pao. Overwhelmed him, I think it was, with volume, and
oh
then
yeah,
led. And I'm not sure if you can remember that. I think it was one of his early fights. Championship.
vaguely. I feel like I've seen
Yes, yes.
that, but yeah. Obviously, it's
2023.
early though as well. That's the tricky part.
Yes, yes, of
Yeah,
course. Since then, he's gone in a
that's the
massive win.
tricky part. It's so yeah. There's a question: has he improved? That's what you have to think. Has he made the steps in his game in these last few years? But then again, there's a big difference between Asatem Pao and and Anane.
No, it's a
Yeah.
big difference. It's not even remotely close to the same opponent.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a big title fight, right? I think Rambolek deserves that opportunity, especially considering this, right? Rambolek did fight against Ayakaev. Was that like 2 months ago? When was that fight? That fight night
Yeah,
event?
I remember that.
That was January 24th. And Nabil, his last fight was when against Wajima. That was
Wajima, yeah.
that was November
Like
16th.
4 months ago, maybe.
So you would argue that what does Rambolek like? Is his body healed up enough? And it came because he did take some damage against Ayakaev. He wasn't completely clean. He did take some shots in that fight. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
Nabil. Save money in Nabil. Put him on a parlay. But I think there's value in an underdog on this
yeah.
fight. Chris single on Rambolek. I think he can get the job done, boys. I think so.
It's a good shout.
There we go. All right, keep it moving. Another big fight, a bit of a legendary fight, actually. If you think about who's competing here, we have
Yeah,
Seksan, the man who yields to no one, taking on Pakorn in the bantamweight Muay Thai division. I'm
yeah.
all for
So
it,
good.
bro. Legendary fight. These guys are
What a
hardcore.
great fight. Yeah, this
Uh,
is a rematch as well, isn't it? I was watching some of the first fight. I forget. Is it the second? I forget if they've had two or one.
must have been outside of 1A. I don't think I
Yeah, it
remember
was
that.
outside of one. It was actually like I remember that the fight was like 10, 12 years ago, and it was a
Oh my,
banger. Yeah, back in
yeah.
the stadiums, man.
Oh my word. Okay,
They want
Fawatan.
the rematch.
Chat, is the one Inner Circle Super Fan Club worth it? I think they're now doing a subscription worldwide. Yes, Powhatan, they have. This is going to be the first one that they're rolling out the paywall for global fans. But it does change. It does vary between the price does change depending on where you are in the world. I think for the US guys, it's $10. But I mean, that's going to be it now for the remainder of the year, I think, until further notice. So, yeah, I would say go to live.1fc.com and then, yeah, go sign up, bro. You know where it's at. Um, yeah, man. So
Yeah.
you say this fight is they've fought more than once? Is that what you said, or just once before?
I thought it was a trilogy, but I've only seen one fight, so I'm thinking it's maybe one. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna check now, but from what I remember, it was an amazing between them in the first fight. From what I watched like half of it, and they were just going at it. So I understand why people want this rematch. It was a amazing fight.
So the question is, are we going to get a fight like
Yeah,
it
no, I'm
again?
really excited for this. It's gonna be sick.
So what do you think
Yeah, they
gets the
fought
job done?
twice. They fought twice.
So this is the
I'm
legit-
kind of leaning Pakorn. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning Pakorn because I feel like when I'm watching Seskin, by the way, he has a really cool look as well. I really like his look. I've not seen a fighter like it, but
like who? Like Pakorn.
Pakorn, I think he has quite a cool like look to him. I've never really
Yes.
seen. It's very unique and memorable, but he's got like I think he's more there. I think Seskin has been fading for a while, and I think he's gonna like I think that's the hour mark. My brain's gone. I think Pakorn is gonna be slipping shots, entering the clinch. He's really good at that. He'll slip a punch and then enter the clinch, and kind of attacking the leg and the body with kicks and trying to punish him coming in. He used a lot of hand fighting in his first fight. I think he also tried, or in the fight I was watching. So I think he'll try and hand fight again as well because it was a lot of success.
Yes.
Be trying to keep it at range, really.
Yeah. I think also Pakorn's been on good momentum. I think he lost his last fight. If I'm not mistaken, no, he won.
No, he won. I think he won against Suanluang.
Yeah, he beat Black and looked fantastic in that fight. I was like, oh my word,
it was amazing.
Still has it right. Styling on him, the management of distance was fantastic. The shot selection was really good. And the thing about Seksan is that he's kind of heavy-handed. Doesn't really throw a lot of kicks to set up some of his stuff. And you know what he wants to do? He wants to get in very tight, right? Seksan wants to be in your face, pop some elbows on you.
Yeah.
The body aggressive. You know, he relies on that. And I think Pakorn is a little bit too smart for that game plan, in my opinion. So I'm also going to go Pakorn for the win here. But that's going to be a banger for the fans.
But it is important to keep in mind. Yeah. I think a lot of the success Seskin was having in the first, when I was watching it, he hit a beautiful elbow which slit Pakorn open, and he just had a lot of athleticism which I don't think he has anymore. So like he was able to really cross the distance using that, and like kind of using these jumping knees.
Forward elbow that he throws, he does use it a lot in one championship as well. I believe Seksan even beat Rodtang. It's mad. But obviously,
he's a beast.
SPV says Pakorn training Nadaka is all you need to know. Here you go. That's all you need to know, guys.
I think
we know who Nadaka
is. Yeah. I don't think he beat Rodtang, by the way. I don't think he beat Rodtang. No, he lost twice, but one of them was fight of the year. I'm currently going through. Maybe he beat him earlier on, but I don't think so.
So there's two fights with Rodtang.
Yeah, he lost both of them. One of them was a war, a true war. It was amazing.
Banger. Okay, bro, let's keep it moving, Rory. I know you mentioned about the 1 hour mark. We're almost down to the last. Actually, we got 2 fights to go. I remember you didn't want to do the last one. We got 2 fights to go.
Yeah.
Okay, up next, bantamweight Muay Thai. It's not Hamza Rashid. It's now Arian Esparza taking on PTT. Late replacement again. But the fight's also moved up to featherweight. It's no longer going to be at bantamweight. To be honest with you, I think that's a really good opponent change. I don't mind. I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference because Hamza Rashid and Arian Esparza, although are different fighters, but they do like the forward momentum. They both got a lot of volume and they are go-getter kind of fighters. Esparza fights off the southpaw a little bit better for me, but it's not going to be that much of a significant change. I do believe that PTT is probably the most hittable fight I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to go down. He just doesn't want to see.
He's a beast.
I don't understand it. So he's always going to be able to win the fight if you can't put him away. Like because the thing is, you're going to beat him up for 3 rounds, but he's going to find a shot, and it's going to hurt you, and you're probably not going to get up from it. And that's the risky fight.
Yeah, that's what he did to Kulabdam, where he just hit him. He's kind of getting worked, and he times it. I put my head in my hands because I had so many great thoughts. I was really excited for that matchup with Hamza Rashid. Because I'm going to keep it quick because there's no point now. But I was like, well, he's got a brilliant jab and a beautiful high kick. And those are his main 2 moves. But the question mark would be what happens when PT gets on the inside. We don't really know. We haven't seen him be pushed back a lot in his career. But it doesn't matter now.
Have you seen Esparza fight before?
I probably have, but I'm trying to. I was like, the site hasn't even updated it yet, so I can't really remember.
He fought against Ricardo Bravo in his last fight. He won that fight by unanimous decision. He had knocked down in the 3rd round. Close fight because he was getting beaten up in the 1st round. I mean, he's the kind of guy he's fighting in a division where I almost feel like he's outgunned because he's not that big. He's short. That's the guy. But he seems to keep winning, or he pulls it out of the rabbit out of the hat for some reason. And I always said he came into our chat one of the lives, And I was hyping him up, I remember, because I thought to myself, you know what? Esparza's got that dog in him, man. He goes forward and he fights hard.
Yeah.
He's got good moves. He's got a nice left straight. And like I said, PTT is a very hittable fighter. And honestly, I almost felt that Hamza Rashid was going to catch PTT. I just had the feeling he was going to get him. Like, this was going to be the time we see PTT go down. Now, in this fight with Esparza, my mind's not completely changed on that thought. I think Esparza can actually catch him as well. However, Esparza has been dropped in all of his fights in one. He is a hittable figure. PTT is the bigger guy. So, you keep saying the power is a good equalizer.
I mean, it's hard to say when like you're a smaller dude and you're going against a guy whose main tactic is just, I'm gonna get in here and try and make it a dogfight, and that's all I'm gonna do. Sometimes it just forces you into the dogfight.
No choice.
Yeah, which is why I was like, I was thought the jab would have been interesting for Rashid, but obviously it's changed now. I wouldn't know too much off the top of my head for Espa. I don't want to butcher the name actually. I don't want to say it wrong.
Okay. No worries. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. We can keep it moving. I would say let's keep our money away from that fight, the late replacement, and also PTT is very like unpredictable. You don't know what you're gonna get.
You can't predict it. Like I thought he lost against Malatesta as well, and then
he gets six.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. I was like, Malatesta's piecing him up, and then Kulabdam beats him pretty cleanly, but gets dropped, which is one of those just.
It's the rule. And then also, if you remember, PTT and Malatesta have fought twice. They fought in the Thai fight league.
Thai fight. Yeah, Thai fight.
The one with the wraps and with no gloves.
Yeah.
And that fight, same thing.
Yeah.
Malatesta's piecing him up. But anyway.
Yeah.
We're here now. PTT is such an anomaly, dude. It's hard to understand. Okay, let's keep it moving to a fight, which I think is going to be a banger. I'm looking forward to this one. Actually, high level. Kyaw taking on Yodlek Pet. This is also one of my fights for the squad. I know we have Anane and we got big names, but like, dude, something about this fight, it just gets me excited. This is the fight we have to.
Yeah, man.
See, we know what Kyaw is all about, dude. I know his record doesn't seem the greatest in 4 wins, 4 losses, but I mean, still, it's on a 3-fight win streak at the moment, and he looks super, super good. You spoke about the fight against Suriyanlek. Pieced up Suriyanlek badly in that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, what
happened?
Why is he so intense, bro? What's changed about him? Right? He's taking Yodlek. So, Yodlek Pet's a really good power puncher, right? He gets in very tight, he's heavy-handed. But I almost feel like he's a little bit too, I don't want to say one-dimensional. I just feel Kyaw could be a little bit more of the superior fighter here. I don't know if you agree, Rory. What's your take on this one?
Well, I'm a big Yodlek Pet fan, so I'm even though I'm going to explain why I think I'm going to pick Kyaw. I wouldn't necessarily say Yodlek Pet is the less skillful. I'd actually say I'm gonna start off with how I could see Yodlek Pet winning is when I was watching the Suriyanlek fight. Suriyanlek had the most success when he was mixing up. He strike, kick, punch, kick, punch, and there was I think a vulnerability. And if you watch Yodlek Pet fight, he has beautiful kicks, man. That's what I mean. He's really skilled. It's one of his more underrated parts. He finished Danish Puric with it, where he just timed a perfect one to the liver and dropped it. Really good part of his game, but my problem is I think Kyaw is really good at he's got beautiful movement. Is this thing? He came in from the Thai leagues and he kind of wasn't succeeding too well, even though he's going against good fighters like Kong Forani. And he kind of adds this kind of movement to him, and it just elevates him so much. And he really baited Suriyanlek into kicks, he'd pull him in and kick him. And when I watch that, it's hard and think that it's going to go any different in the against Yodlek Pet. Yodlek Pet is going to struggle with this as well. I feel like.
I like that you brought up Yodlek Pet's kicks, because I've watched a lot of Yodlek Pet's fight, and I've fallen into that type of thinking that he's primarily a power puncher, right? He gets in tight and he wants to put those heavy hands on you, because let's be real, he's a pretty powerful dude, Yodlek Pet, right? But I have noticed that he actually does throw some mean inside low kicks. set up that boxing. It's pretty good, and even when he goes to the body with it, I think it's pretty good. Do you think
Yeah.
that the low kicks could be upset the movement of King Sanglek in this fight?
I think he needs his low kick.
Mm.
Like a lot of the time, he's using the low kicks to kind of bridge the gap between striking, like a nice inside low to can really set up boxing. It's one of the most underrated kicks in the sport. I could go on for 30 minutes and every single way you can use it. It's so like you can use it loads of ways, but using it as a combo setter is really nice. And I think but as I said, I really think the body kick is actually kind of where it's going to be at, because you watch him fight, he has a good body kick. Yodlek Peg does. He's got good timing with it. As I said, the Dennis Puric fight, that's what got him. Kick. I posted a clip of it actually, where he hits the body kick, and then Dennis Puric winces down, doesn't get on the knee, and gets kicked in the face going down. But I titled it like "Why Sometimes You Should Take a Knee," because it's just something you need to keep in mind. But yeah, I genuinely think using that to kind of set him up and end combinations. As I said, Suriyanlek in round 2, there's like a point for like a minute where he starts having a lot of success with it, and then he gets dropped, I think. So it as I said, I think but I just think he's gonna lose, because obviously the movement, and he's gonna from Gingseklek, and he pulls people into strikes really well, and it's kicks, and they're very powerful. Pete is. Yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off, man. What were you gonna say?
I said no. I just agreed saying he is powerful. Yeah, I wanted to ask you one thing. I did noticing in the fight against Suriyanlek from King Sanglek was he also has a very good, devastating body kick off the left side. So the question is, who do you think has the better body kick, and would be more successful using it in this fight?
Well, I mean, it is Gingseklek. I can't sit here and act like Gingseklek have one of the best body kicks. As I said, I mean, talking about it, he baits people in. It's powerful. It's a scary thing, man. But it's not when in fights, it's not as simple as who's the best body kick. It's generally who uses it better. And as much as Gingseklek uses it better, I think if Yodlek Peg just needs it to set it up and keep him aware, and then that will let his hands go, I would think. And if he can really establish that body kicking combos and use his boxing, which is really scary, really nasty, they will like kind of add to each other. So it's not as simple as who's got the better body kick. If the body kick's landing, the punches are going to be better for Yodlek Peg.
Yes. The crazy fight that could easily be a main event for me. crazy fight. I look forward to it. Good fight. Well said, Rory. I think that fight for me is if you want to have students watch a Muay Thai fight to learn, I think that one, Yodlek Peg and King Sanglek is going to be high level, fun matchup. But okay, Rory, I think that was the fights that you wanted to cover. I know we got the opening bout was Adam Mesoudi taking on Hikaru Kurimura. That's also going to be a fun fight to watch. Adam Mesoudi is a WBC Muay Thai champion currently. He's also a 4-time regional French champion, if I'm not mistaken. But Hikaru is a badass dude. He's a crazy motherfucker in there. So I think it's going to be a crazy fight to watch. Good opener for the card as well. But again, guys in the chat, don't forget that we are going to be doing a betting man segment tomorrow. We're talking about these fights and who we're going to go with. Rory, before we let you go, bro, do you have any slight picks for this one you have for the chat? This is your time. Let us know.
Okay, my problem is I don't bet too much. I save it for special occasions. But okay, I'm trying to think. Even though I was talking a lot about the Gingseklek fight, but I would say Gingseklek is I think that's a good pick. I would say Yasimov by like Kyaw, or not Yas. I mixed up Russian fighters. Imangazaliev is a great pick as well. I think Zhao will be a pretty close one. I think could be a very solid pick. Obviously, it's a bit unknown with the Muay Thai, but I generally think you're going to get a pretty high return on that. I think Suriyanlek, pretty good pick as well. And I think Kulabdam, that's one. If I was
Okay.
a betting dude, man, I would definitely go for Kulabdam.
Let's
You're gonna get a
go.
good deal, good odds on that.
I love
That
that.
would be my luck.
All right, boys. There we have it. Jedi's asking Anan. Which one, Jedi? Because we have two Anans competing on this fight card. We have both brothers fighting, Nabil and Yonis. To be quite honest, I think both brothers are in a fight, bro. I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight for either of them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just my brain, if I was betting, is just like I feel like there's just a chance of a KO, and that would kind of scare me. I can visualize in my mind Rambolek hitting a liver shot or something that shuts him down.
Yeah. How does he respond to that shot? Bang!
Yeah.
How does Nabil respond to that hard liver shot? I don't care how skilled you are. Liver shots can put any champion down.
He's faced some good power before.
Sorry, what's that?
I think, well, he's faced the guys with scary power, so it's not like it's a guaranteed thing. If I remember, he's faced, like, before he got the contract, a couple dudes, and Niku Carrillo, obviously he just butchered in the like
put Kulabdam himself. Knocked him out
yeah,
in 2 rounds.
Yeah, so it's not as if you're like worried about the power. It's just Rambolek is so skilled with his body shots. It's a thing of beauty.
100%. Okay. Is there anything final thoughts you want to say? Maybe let the people know where they can find you and what platforms before we let you go, bro. We will put it in the description.
Come check out my Twitter. I'm hoping when I get free time, once I've finished my college, I'm gonna maybe start a Substack and maybe start a channel. I'm probably gonna go Substack first, which is like to write articles, you know. So I'll be putting them up for free when I have time. I'm just analysis. I really want to go because I haven't ate because obviously train problems. I literally just arrived back. I can't wait to eat some pizza, man.
Let's go. Yeah, I mean, boys, I must say,
wait to get 100%
watching
right?
this. It was really, hopefully you get 100% there. But yeah, from sitting backstage, boys, it was really an honor and a pleasure to watch you guys get into it and do your thing here. I hope the audience and everybody watching live enjoyed it. Rory, bro, thank you so much for pulling in, bro. Your debut here at Fighting with Friends. I think it went pretty well, bro, honestly. So yeah, just thank you so much again for being here.
Thanks.
BG, as always, thank you so much, bro. We do appreciate the time and the effort that you put in here Fighting with Friends and the steel. Yeah, that's our time, ladies and gentlemen. We are approaching an hour and a half.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
Just to shout out before I leave. Hopefully I'm gonna be fighting in about a month and a half in some Kyokushin. I will give you updates. Hopefully, I do have college coming up. I'm hoping to be in a tournament. I think it's IKF tournament in May. It could be IKF, or it could be the other one.
Let's go, Rory. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be following that very closely, bro. So definitely keep us posted on that. That's amazing news, bro.
Yeah,
we'll definitely
first
be covering
over 18s
that
tournament. Yeah, first
nice
over 18s
one,
tournament.
That's what. So we hopefully see you on one championship soon, bro.
One day, man. One day.
Transition to more time. Here we go. Well, all right, just for the last time, Rory, thank you so much again for being here, brother. We really do appreciate
been an honor,
it.
man.
Straight off the trains, no dinner, and he's putting in a shift here for you, ladies and gentlemen. So please drop a like on the stream if you haven't done so yet. Subscribe to Fighting with Friends. PG, I'm gonna get us off the stage and let you take us home. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Let's go. Yeah, big thank you goes out to Rory again. That was wonderful. I could do that over and over again, especially when the cards get so stacked. We should get great minds like himself on the channel so much more this year. But what you can expect for Fighting with Friends for the remainder of the week, guys? Tomorrow's Thursday, so we're going to have 2 episodes coming out. We're going to have a nice live 18-man segment as usual. It's going to be an earlier time slot, I think. A little bit more. Might be earlier or later time slot. We are going to be doing 18-man segment. Reason being is because we have a live interview with Rally Van Rooyen push of his victory against Jeremy Miyado. People look out for that. And then on Friday, usual time slot, 1:30 South African time. You know what it is, live watch along for one Friday Fights 147. And then Saturday, beautiful starting time for us. UFC London, the Mandem Kings. He's going to be the Rome for taking on my guy, Mabza Ibloif. At 7 p.m. South African time. So keep a lookout for that, guys. But from myself, Eddie, this is the boys at Fighting with Friends. Have a fantastic day, evening, morning, wherever you're watching from. We will definitely catch you guys in the next one. Stay hard.